having bees next to potatoes or canola or sunflowers maybe, I don't know. But doing those things that add yield boost, is that going to get limited by, well, you're at the maximum yield for this soil type, so you're just doing stuff and not getting any benefit, not getting any additional benefit from it, should I say. Now, if that's the case, then obviously there could be a case put that, well, spraying the field for herbicide is not a problem, because while you get something crazy like minus 15% yield because you sprayed the field, even with the spot and spray, or see and spray, whatever it's called, because you're already at, well, your yield bonus is technically putting you at 140%, but this particular soil only allows 110, then subtracting 15 from 140 still leaves you at 110. It's probably something we're going to have to look at eventually. Obviously, I don't have the money to waste on see and spray sensors for my sprayers at the moment. I did spend on the crop sensors on the mirror. But even that, it's a questionable thing. Back in September when we bought the farm, we bought it with a sunflower crop already in our one field, or our one arable field, and they weren't ready to harvest. So I took the sprayer out and I sprayed the field, and I think I ended up with a nitrogen score of excuse me, I will talk proper numbers rather than fake numbers. So a nitrogen score was something like 28, because all I'd done was I'd sprayed it with automatic spray, automatic. The sprayer was on automatic. I forgot to turn on the crop sensors, so I didn't get the full 30 points for spraying, and that was my mistake. This time around we have sprayed while the crop sensors are active, so I'm assuming that's going to max out my environmental score. And so the environmental score when you're spraying, and probably any other form of fertilizer, or the nitrogen part of your environmental score, is only going to be maxed out if you precisely add the amount of I did it again. If you precisely add the amount of nitrogen that it requires. But just going with automatic and not spending on the crop sensors gets you close. And I mean, we're getting over 10% environmental bonus with all the stuff we're selling. So I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not perfect, but the whole, what I'm struggling with at the moment is the whole question on yield versus environmental score. Obviously, I prefer to see more yield if I can do it, and the environmental score is bonus income. But maybe there isn't a penalty to using herbicide spot and spray because the yield on the field is limited. Okay, we can turn that off. We can lift it up. We can head that off at the pass so that it doesn't. It's probably going to end up rolling into the shed. But for right now, that's the baler, or the baling. So yes, nice baler. It doesn't match the tractor because we don't have a green one. I think on the Osa family farm back in 19, I can't remember if I streamed any of that. I played that with Mrs. Osa. We did have a Deutz round baler. I think it was an older model, so slightly squarer than that one. But not the first time I've used one. Okay, let's run over here. We're going to need the arms and the extractors in the way. So we can jump into this, turn the engine on, fold it up. I'm going to need help buttons here. Oh, okay. Start the engine. Unfold puts the tow hitch away. Good. Ooh. I am reversing into a thing. Now, obviously, 3 mile an hour limit. This does not go very quickly. And yeah, for the record, we did hoe our it's not going to go in there, so just pick it up. So again, from a realism perspective, this silage bunker has proper drainage, so we can put fermenting silage bales in here and not have to worry about that sort of thing. I can turn the help text on, actually. Turn the help text back on. Fill level compacting. Oh, okay. Nice to know. Jump out. I think I'm stuck in this bunker. Okay. So what was I going to say? So that's the extractor in there. Yeah, let's put the arms on and see if I can remember. Where the forks, the pointy forks are. Pretty sure I got pointy forks. Pull forward. Select the tractor and then that will attach. Interesting question. This is now definitely a bigger tractor. So, of course, there is the question of how many bales can we pick up without falling over? 15,000 litres of grass here. Bringing back, we are very slightly front heavy here. And I definitely need this is definitely the right set of arms for this particular tractor. It was the wrong set of arms for the 6S. Oh, God. And I will pick up. Well, that's one on. I'll pick up the. I don't know. Maybe we'll just. So lots of things I am thinking about here. One of the things is you can get, still nothing new, get something like this. It sticks on a 3-point, you can put a bale on it. But then I could put a bale on the back and that'll offset the weight on the front, which would allow me to transport 3 bales at a time, but I would still have to put them all down in order to load up the extractor. And back up, and off you go. But to fetch bales off the field, I think it would probably work best to put the weight on the back. Now, this is way oversized weight, although for this tractor not so much. Yeah, I did that. We'll settle the back. So the weight here is technically a front weight for when we're doing bale work. It allows me to push the bales aside. Okay, let's grab bales. And of course, benefit of the extractor is we can bale the biggest bales. And it's the same is true with the square bale extractor. You can wrap the 240 centimeter square bales, which the normal wrappers just don't manage. Plus the normal wrapper is, or the square bale wrapper is more expensive, so actually using the extractor is a little bit more financially viable. Of course, the advantage with this is we can haul that extractor with the Land Rover. So once we've got all our bales loaded, I will definitely look into getting a small silage baling contract or wrapped bale baling contract and seeing if we can complete that with our own equipment using the extractor. Because if that works, then we are now just do baling contracts and we don't have to borrow the equipment, so we never have to take a hit on the payment that we get. This is not going to work well, so I will unstab that. Ooh. And lower the fork so it stabs more in the centre of the bale. There we go. Okay, how are we doing here? We have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 more, maybe. Can't quite tell if there's 2 in the hedge or just the 1. Definitely not getting a bounce at the bottom of the hill and throwing the bales off, which is bonus. Well, that was the thing. Just tip it forward and let the bale drop off. Nice. I don't want the forks too close to the ground as we hit the field because there's quite a big transition into the climb. But once we're on the field, do need to adjust so that we stab the bale in the middle rather than at the top. This tractor does sound good too. I don't have the sound on or the volume up too loud. Let's try and shuffle to the side, stab it. Keep shuffled to the side. I think I stabbed this bale too much in the middle. There we go. Got both of them. I have to raise them up slightly again because of the transition from hill to flat at the bottom. But of course, doing bales this big means fewer trips with the trailer. Well, theoretically fewer trips with the trailer. That part of the problem, part of the struggle is the weight of each bale is a lot more than the 150 centimetre bales or the 125s. There we go. That's fine. It's kind of what I was expecting. So, why did I press that button? But you can see our grass field's 70, and a lot of that is number 2, pH value. Our lime just cratered. Second value is weed control. We got no weeds. There are no weeds on this field. We've got field 50. I'm up to 90 on that. And part of that is nitrogen, which we just sprayed it with the crop sensors on, so that should max out now when we harvest. And the second one is the weed control, because I used a hoe, not the sprayer. But as I said, with the sprayer, I don't have the spray attachment on it, and that's gonna cost me. We can do it with this one. Weed spot spraying, 39,000. So, and that's part of what I was saying with the fertilizer sprayer. For want of 2 points of environmental rating score on a early on, is it worth spending the money on the crop sensor at this stage? Now, obviously, later when we're mass producing everything, yes, and it should be on my small, on the tractor I am normally going to be fertilizing with. This one can do it, but I'm going to say it's going to be an expensive tractor to run because of the price. So it's much more efficient. Well, that was a thing. To use, something in the small tractor range. Typically, I'd look at 5S, the G, kind of that. Although the price of that compared with those two is just stupid for what's effectively. I mean, this one's 113 to 142 versus 110 to 145. Why would I spend 20,000 more? The T6 is an option. I think the 6M is an option. And then we get out here, there's the Class Arian, the Kubota M6. Again, that's only 80,000. There's the Armour Track, but it doesn't have a front hitch. All sorts of tractors back this way. That because they're a lower cost, they're going to be lower, because they're a lower cost, what am I saying? They're going to be cheaper to repair. Okay, so I got that one. As I said, I don't think there are any more bales over here. I'm going to do a drive-by just to make sure. Oh, that's a tree limb that's sticking through the hedge, which is hence the colour difference. So, I don't usually endorse going downhill into a bale, but in this case I'm going to. I'll go and get the other one that is parallel to the slope. Of course, there is an easier way to figure out, did I get everything? Okay, we're just no, we don't have to go with this one. I could try that one. Now, typically, if I'm approaching from this side on a hill, this bale will possibly roll away. Guess we'll figure that out. Just thinking. As far as initial tractors go on our farm series so far, our first tractor has typically been a black one, where we've had the Class Axion 900 by CMT Software, but we now have a Deutz that's all black and should be green, but suck that one off. Nice. We'll drop this one on as well. Woo, and there you go. So, what I did want to check, because I didn't yet, we have made 10 bales. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more, because we had 2 left over from our last cut. And this bale is completely the wrong way round, so we'll just stab it as best we can. Well, I missed it with the red spike. I'm really not a fan of this bale spike. But it's what we've got, so I'm going to have to make do with it. Ooh. Oh, we are right at the front now. So, there we go. Now, in theory, we can wander over here. And if I press, turn the engine on. Oh, okay, what's the button to empty it? There isn't one. Unload bales. Oh. There probably is one. I just haven't mapped the correct button on my my thing to make that happen. But anyway, that is all done. Okay. Now we do know that this will not go up the ramp into the silage bunker. I think I can park this over here. I will unfold it, fold it up, You fold it up by getting the tow hitch out. Go figure. We can turn the engine off. I guess I can walk over here and look at these. They are 0%. And yeah, so they will sit there and ferment for a while. As far as the tractor is concerned, we are, whoa, things disappearing. Done with the weight, I'll put that down. I'm done with the bale spikes, I'll put that down as well. I may need the pallet forks tomorrow. Well, it's only 11:37, so it's very... Drop that on the floor. I should still be able to reach the stone bucket if I need it. Not that I do, but I can. Put this on the hard standing there. So once the bales have fermented, we will need to use the bale spike to get our trailer loaded. The trailer is capable of auto load. I have not activated it at this time. So I'm going to look up 10 bales, blah blah blah, contracts. There is a fertilizing contract, there is a weeding contract. Could do the fertilizing contract. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to look up. So we're down to 18,000. Not there. So yeah, these only use fertilizer spreader. This is fertilizer and lime. Fertilizer only, fertilizer and lime. So these things are the usually, if I got a big farm, I'll go with this one. And it doesn't come with narrow wheels. At least it didn't used to. It comes with narrows now. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the old Farm Sim 19, this only came with standard or wide, so it will always destroy your crops if they were old enough. This one was capable of fitting with narrows, so if you wanted an all-purpose, I would buy this one. However, this one here does both. It doesn't have base. It doesn't have huge capacity, 3,900. For an extra 3,000, you can get unrealistic capacity, which is 10,000. It doesn't change the design or anything like that. Really, the unrealistic setting costs you a little bit more money, and basically makes it easier to play the game using it. Base 26,000. So I don't, that's potentially what I want to buy, because it will let me lime my field. Right now, I'm not necessarily looking at... Well, no, I do actually want to lime that field. And I'm fairly certain I'm not going to find that spreader in a sale anytime soon. I think for right now, we can park that there. Stick it in drive, turn the engine off. And yeah, so we now have a new tractor, and we have started producing stuff on our farm in the first full year. Not much else to say. And the whole thing with the sales, it's effectively what I'm looking for. I'm holding off on buying a harvester until there's a good one that I can afford in the sales. I'd like to hold off on a spreader until, and even here, we needed a baler, we needed a wrapper, and I left it until now to buy one. If one came up in the sales, I'd have bought it. This trailer here came up in the sales. I wasn't shipping any bales around at the time, but it was just sort of, I am going to be needing to ship bales, so we will buy this. Can't think of anything else that was used, but typically I'm looking for used equipment, and when used equipment comes up that I know I'm going to make a ton of use out of, yep, time to buy it. If I've got the money. Otherwise, do a job, get some money. But anyway, I have the kids. Well, Mrs. Osa's gone to get the kids, so they are on their way here. So I'm going to call it for today. We'll be back next week on the new version of this map, because I now have access to it, in spite of the fact that there's a couple of issues with store descriptions on some of the equipment. Not a problem. It's not really going to affect us, and really, as far as store equipment is concerned, it's this sort of store equipment. Apparently there's problems with descriptions here, and Giants want those fixed. So Cavalier Roy's going to be fixing those, but in the meantime I am looking to migrate over to the new map during the course of this week. But anyway, I need to go and eat some food and drink something because my throat's dry. So have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll be back next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.